You wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and even though you haven't overindulged, even though you've been trying to do the right thing, your belly keeps growing. It's not the kind of fat that shows up after a weekend of overeating, not the kind that disappears with 3 days of dieting. This is different. It's stubborn fat, like it's glued on from the inside, unresponsive to your efforts, slowly creeping up while you try to figure out what's wrong. You've probably wondered, did my metabolism just shut down? Is my health worse than I imagine? And the answer no one has clearly given you until now is, yes, something is wrong, but it's not what you think. And more importantly, there's a solution. Because what I see every day in my practice are people just like you, people who make an effort, who try to eat well, who even get some physical activity, but who unknowingly are making a silent mistake that causes their bodies to keep accumulating fat, especially inside the liver. And this mistake isn't a lack of willpower. It's not laziness. It's a biological mechanism that no one has explained to you, a process that happens inside your cells while you sleep, while you work, while you try to live your life. And when this mechanism stops working correctly, the liver becomes the first organ to pay the price, accumulating fat in layers that show up on that ultrasound that scared you so much. What you're about to discover in this video will change how you see your body, your diet, your habits. These aren't generic tips you've already read on any website. This is information based on the latest research, the warnings doctors should give, but often don't have time to explain in a 15-minute appointment. So stick with me until the end, because what's coming might be exactly what you needed to hear to finally start changing this situation. Research published in 2023 in the Journal of Hepatology revealed something that shook the global medical community. It's estimated that over 30% of the global adult population already has some degree of fat accumulation in their liver, and most of these people don't know it because they've never felt anything. No pain, no visible sign, no alarm. The liver, unlike other organs, doesn't have pain receptors on its internal surface, meaning it can be inflamed, accumulating fat, starting a fibrosis process, and you'll continue to think you're fine because it doesn't hurt. This silence is what makes non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or in NAFLD as medicine calls it, one of the most dangerous and underdiagnosed conditions of the modern world. And the most alarming statistic of all is that a portion of these people will progress to a more severe stage called steatohepatitis, or NASH, where the fat in the liver begins to cause active inflammation, cell damage, and over time, fibrosis and cirrhosis. In other words, the liver starts to destroy itself from the inside while you continue to feel nothing. I'm a hepatologist. I've been working with liver diseases for over 15 years, and I've followed hundreds of patients in different stages of fatty liver disease. What motivated me to create this channel was precisely this information gap. People come to my office scared, with an ultrasound report in hand, saying their liver is hyperechoic, with grade 2 or grade 3 fatty liver, and they don't know what it means. They don't know what to do, and often they've only been told they need to lose weight and eat less fat, which is incomplete advice and, in most cases, doesn't work on its own. That's why I'm here, to give you the information you really need, based on science, in plain language, without judgment. If you've made it this far, it's because you're taking your health seriously, and that genuinely makes me happy. I created this channel for people exactly like you, who don't just want to be told they have fatty liver and leave without understanding anything. You deserve to know what's happening inside your body. You deserve access to the most up-to-date knowledge on how to reverse this condition. Every week, I bring you information based on the latest scientific research, protocols that work, and warnings about what makes fatty liver worse, things many people still don't know. Subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications, because every video I publish could be the information that changes the course of your health. You're not alone on this journey, and I'll be here with you every step of the way. But now, I need you to pay close attention to what I'm about to reveal, Because there's a specific process happening inside your body that's sabotaging any attempt to lose fat, especially the fat stored in your liver. I won't tell you everything at once because I want you to understand it thoroughly, step by step, so that when I reveal the protocol at the end of this video, everything makes sense to you. For now, keep one word in mind: insulin resistance. It's the root of almost everything I'm going to show you today. Let me tell you about Marcia, a patient who came to my office at 52 years old. She's a teacher, a mother of 3, a woman I describe as someone who always tried to take care of her health. She didn't drink alcohol, didn't smoke, tried to eat reasonably well, and went for walks when she could fit them into her busy schedule. What scared her was a routine exam requested by her family doctor, a simple abdominal ultrasound she had done without much expectation, thinking it would be normal like all the others she'd had before. The report came back with grade 2 fatty liver and altered liver enzymes, TGO at 67, TGP at 89, values well above normal. She was in shock. She cried in her doctor's office, went home, and couldn't sleep properly for 3 days, reading scary things online about cirrhosis, about liver transplants, imagining the worst. When she arrived at my office, she was emotionally drained before I even said a word. The first thing she asked me was, "Doctor, how did I let my liver get to this point?" And I looked at her and said, "Marcia, you didn't do anything wrong on purpose. What happened to your liver has a name, it has an explanation, and it has a solution." And it was from that day that her life began to change. Now I need to pause here and ask you an important question, and I want you to be completely honest with me because your answer might help thousands of other people watching this video right now. When you found out you had fatty liver, or when you started to suspect something wasn't right with your liver, what was the first thing you felt? Was it that deep, silent fear that this could be something serious? Was it guilt? That heavy feeling that you did something wrong? Is it that feeling of loneliness, like nobody around you gets what you're going through? Like people don't take you seriously because you look fine on the outside? I know how heavy that feels. I see it every day. And I want you to know this is a safe space. No judgment, no shame. So, comment down below right now. Use these words if you want. I have fatty liver and need help. There's absolutely nothing wrong with saying that. In fact, saying it out loud is the first step. And when you comment, you're showing other people they're not alone. You're building a chain of support, of courage. I read every single comment, and your story matters to me and to this whole community. Now let's get into the part that will make everything click for you. The scientific explanation of the mechanism that's causing your body to store more fat in your liver without you even realizing it. It all starts with insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas that has an essential function. It's like a key that unlocks your body's cells so glucose, the sugar from your food, can enter and be used for energy. Under normal conditions, you eat, your pancreas releases insulin, glucose enters the cells. Everything works. The problem starts when this system begins to fail, when your body's cells start to ignore insulin signals to no longer respond to that key. This phenomenon has a technical name you've probably heard, insulin resistance, and when that happens, the pancreas tries to compensate by producing more and more insulin, trying to force glucose into the cells. This results in chronically high insulin levels in your blood, a state that medicine calls hyperinsulinemia, and this state is like a constant signal to your system saying, store fat, don't burn fat. It's literally a metabolic switch stuck in the wrong position. And you know where a lot of this fat your body is being instructed to store ends up in the liver. The liver is one of the first organs to accumulate fat when insulin resistance sets in because it's your body's primary organ for metabolizing carbohydrates and fats. When the liver is being flooded with glucose that the cells can't absorb, it starts converting that excess into fat, a process called de novo lipogenesis, which literally means the creation of new fat. And this fat gets deposited inside the liver cells, the hepatocytes. causing what we see on an ultrasound as fatty liver disease. What most people don't know, and this is crucial, is that you can have insulin resistance even if your blood sugar tests are normal. The glucose might be normal because the pancreas is working overtime to keep things under control, but your insulin is sky high, and the silent damage is happening. If you have fatty liver, hit that like button on this video now. This simple gesture tells me I need to keep bringing this kind of content, and it helps this video reach more people who need this information. Now tell me, comment below what your AST and ALT levels were on your most recent blood work. You don't need to be embarrassed. Nobody here will judge you, and this information helps me understand what else you need to know about the subject. Let me tell you about another patient, Robert, 44 years old, a systems analyst, a guy who spent 10 hours a day sitting in front of his computer. Robert didn't eat fast food every day. He didn't guzzle soda. In fact, he tried to eat what he thought was healthy. But he had a habit that was destroying his liver without him knowing. He ate a lot of refined carbohydrates, bread, pasta, white rice, cookies, and he did it in large quantities, spread throughout the day. On top of that, he ate very quickly, without chewing properly, and had a habit of eating late at night before bed. When he got his blood work done, his ALT was 102, his GGT was elevated, and his ultrasound showed grade 3 fatty liver. The doctor he saw just told him to lose weight and eat less fat. Robert tried for 6 months, cut the fat from his meat, stopped eating eggs, eliminated olive oil, and saw no results. When he came to me, he was frustrated and convinced his liver would never improve. What I needed to do was dismantle everything he believed about diet and liver, and show him that the real enemy wasn't the fat he was eating, but the refined carbohydrates he was consuming in excess, which were fueling the insulin resistance that was behind all his fatty liver. And here we arrive at the central warning of this video, the thing that's causing your body to store more fat, and that most people, and unfortunately many doctors, still don't communicate with the necessary clarity. There are behaviors and substances that drastically increase insulin resistance, that lock up the liver's metabolism, and that advance the accumulation of liver fat even when you're trying to eat well. The first of these is excessive fructose consumption, and I'm not just talking about the obvious sugar in sweets. I'm talking about fruit juices, even natural ones, honey, agave, any product that lists corn syrup or high fructose corn syrup among its ingredients. Fructose is metabolized almost exclusively by the liver, unlike glucose, which can be used by all the body's cells. When you consume excess fructose, the liver literally drowns in it, and the only way out is to convert it all into fat. Research shows that regular consumption of fructose-sweetened beverages can increase fat accumulation in the liver by up to 27% in just a few weeks. The second factor that very few people associate with fatty liver is sleep deprivation. When you sleep poorly, when you chronically sleep less than 6 hours a night, your body enters a state of metabolic stress that raises cortisol, raises insulin, and significantly worsens insulin resistance. Studies published in the last 3 years have shown that people who sleep poorly have significantly higher rates of fatty liver disease than people who sleep well, even when controlling for all other factors of diet and exercise. Sleeping poorly isn't just about being tired, it's about liver health, and this connection is rarely mentioned. The third factor, and this is one of the most underestimated, is prolonged sedentary behavior, especially the habit of sitting for many hours straight. It's not enough to get an hour of exercise if you spend the other 15 hours of the day completely inactive. Recent research shows that skeletal muscle, the tissue that covers your body and allows you to move, is a major player in absorbing glucose from your blood, independent of insulin. When you move your body, when you use your muscles, they consume glucose directly without needing insulin, which eases the burden on your liver. When you sit still for hours, this absorption stops. Glucose builds up in your blood, your pancreas produces more insulin, insulin resistance worsens, and your liver accumulates more fat. It's a vicious cycle that can be broken with something as simple as standing up and walking for 5 minutes every hour you spend sitting at work. Now, let's get to the practical plan. The things you can start doing this week to begin reversing the fat buildup in your liver. The first step is to completely eliminate all sweetened beverages of any kind: sodas, processed juices, juice boxes, energy drinks, sugary sports drinks, and also drastically cut back on natural fruit juices. While they contain vitamins, they also have concentrated fructose without the fiber that would slow down absorption. Swap all of these for water, sparkling water with no added sugar or sweetener, unsweetened tea, and you'll immediately remove one of the biggest culprits harming your liver. Many patients I've worked with report improved liver enzymes within 30 to 45 days just by making this one change. The second step is to reevaluate your relationship with carbohydrates, not necessarily eliminating them entirely, but understanding what types, in what quantities, and at what times you consume them. High glycemic index carbohydrates like white bread, white rice, conventional pasta, crackers, cakes, and any product made with refined flour cause rapid and intense spikes in glucose and insulin, fueling the cycle that leads to fatty liver disease. Switching to low glycemic index, high-fiber carbohydrates like vegetables, legumes, oats, quinoa, and sweet potatoes eaten with the skin on makes a huge difference in controlling insulin resistance and, consequently, liver fat. And a crucial detail that few people talk about: quantity matters just as much as quality. Even a healthy food consumed in excess can raise insulin levels higher than desired. The third step is to include quality protein in every meal. Protein has a thermogenic and satiating effect, meaning it burns more energy to digest and keeps you feeling full for longer, which naturally reduces overall carbohydrate intake throughout the day. Eggs, chicken, fish, lean meats, tofu, and legumes like beans and lentils are all allies for your liver when consumed in a balanced way. There's a persistent myth that protein overloads the liver, and this is only true in cases of advanced liver failure. For those with fatty liver disease without impaired liver function, which is the vast majority, protein is protective, not harmful. The fourth step is physical exercise, but with an important nuance that changes everything. The type of exercise that most benefits fatty liver disease isn't necessarily light walking, although it's better than nothing. Resistance training, which uses weights or your own body weight for resistance, like weightlifting, Pilates with resistance bands, or functional training, has a proven effect on increasing glucose uptake by muscles, directly improving insulin resistance, and reducing liver fat accumulation. Studies show that 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week already produces visible improvements in liver enzymes and fatty liver disease seen on ultrasound. And you don't need to go to an expensive gym. Body weight exercises done at home 3 to 4 times a week make a measurable difference. Now, let me answer some questions that come up frequently in the comments because they reflect doubts I know you might be having right now. The first is, "Doctor, can I completely reverse fatty liver disease?" The answer is yes, in the vast majority of cases. Early and intermediate stages of fatty liver disease are completely reversible with the right lifestyle changes. Studies show that losing 7 to 10% of total body weight, when done sustainably and with quality in your diet, results in a significant reduction of liver fat, proven by tests. Patients who came to me with stage 3 fatty liver disease, very elevated enzymes, who made the right changes, returned with normal ultrasounds within 6 to 12 months. I'm not selling you a miracle. I'm telling you what science proves. The second frequent question is, do I need to stop taking any medications I'm currently using? Not necessarily, and this is something that needs to be discussed with your doctor, because some medications can indeed contribute to liver fat buildup, such as certain antidepressants, corticosteroids, and antipsychotics. However, stopping or switching these medications when necessary should always be supervised by a professional. What I recommend is that you go to your doctor with this specific question: could this medication be affecting my liver? And if the answer is yes, ask them to evaluate together if there's an alternative. The third question is there any supplement that helps the liver? And here I need to be honest with you. There's no supplement that can replace lifestyle changes. But there are some that science has shown to have an auxiliary effect when used in conjunction with a proper diet and exercise. Vitamin E, silymarin, berberine, and omega-3 fatty acids have reasonable studies showing benefit in patients with fatty liver disease. But the decision to supplement must go through your doctor, who will assess the correct dosage, contraindications, and whether it makes sense for your specific case. Let me tell you more about Marcia, the teacher I mentioned at the beginning. After 3 months of following the plan I designed for her, which included reducing refined carbohydrates, eliminating juices, incorporating resistance exercise 3 times a week, improving sleep with some sleep hygiene strategies, and monthly check-ins with me, she returned for a consultation with her test results in hand. Her TGO dropped from 67 to 28, and her TGP dropped from 89 to 31, within the normal range for the first time in years. A repeat ultrasound showed stage 1 fatty liver disease, a full-grade regression, in just 3 months. She cried in my office again, but this time it wasn't from fear, it was from relief. She told me, "Doctor, I never thought my liver could get better." And that's what drives me, what makes every video I record worthwhile. And if you've tried to reverse fatty liver disease before and haven't succeeded, I really want to hear about it. Comment below. I've tried to reverse fatty liver and haven't succeeded. There's no failure here. It's a lack of correct information, and that's exactly what I want to give you. Every comment you leave helps me understand your needs better and guides me for future videos. To summarize everything you've learned today, fatty liver, or non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, is directly linked to insulin resistance, a condition where your body's cells stop responding properly to insulin, causing the liver to accumulate excess fat. The main triggers that worsen this resistance are excessive consumption of fructose and refined carbohydrates, sleep deprivation, and prolonged sedentary behavior. Reversal is possible in the vast majority of cases by eliminating sugary drinks, restructuring carbohydrate intake, including quality protein, engaging in regular resistance training, and improving sleep. Liver enzymes, TGO, TGP, and GGT are markers you should monitor regularly, and an ultrasound can show the progression of steatosis during treatment. The liver is an organ with an extraordinary capacity for regeneration, and with the right changes, it can recover impressively. If this video made sense to you, if you learned something you didn't know before, I have a simple favor to ask. Hit that like button now. This gesture takes 2 seconds and helps this content reach more people who need this information and who might not even know they have fatty liver. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell, because every week I bring you a new video with updated information on liver health, how to reverse steatosis, and the most common mistakes that hinder recovery. And share this video with someone you care about, a family member, a friend, a coworker, someone you know is struggling with their liver health, or who doesn't even know they need to worry about it yet. You could be changing that person's life with a simple share. In the next video, I'll reveal the 5 foods that seem healthy but are silently destroying your liver, and one of them will really surprise you because it appears in every diet considered healthy. Don't miss it. Take care of your liver because it's the only one you have, and it's waiting for your help to recover.